Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. A quick news update for you guys on how Netflix and Disney have agreed to a brand new deal to share some of their shows. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. So ever since Disney Plus first came about, we have been seeing Disney pulling back from licensing its content. It sort of got away from Netflix, pulled a lot of its content over the years, and they viewed it that they were kind of selling weapons to the enemy by giving Netflix access to their show. So a lot of stuff came away, and we've not really seen a huge amount of stuff being licensed back to Netflix. There's been a few exceptions here and there. A couple of years ago, they even made a deal to pull off even more stuff from Netflix and brought back like Daredevil and Defenders and stuff. But one of the shows that is extremely popular on Netflix is Grey's Anatomy. It's actually one of the most watched shows in the US. It's constantly in the Nielsen's trending chart. And this like long-standing deal, a little bit like with the Simpsons and Fox kind of thing. This deal is so long, because the show's been going for so long, it kind of has an old deal. So it meant that every time a new season came out, new episodes would go to Hulu the next day, but then eventually the whole season would be removed and it would go to Netflix. So all previous 19 seasons are available on Netflix in the United States. Internationally, it's all on Disney Plus. In fact, in many countries, including here in the UK, Grey's Anatomy releases exclusively on Disney Plus, and it is the most watched show. It is consistently in the top 3 trending shows, and often it's kind of jumping between that and Bluey. It's just massive. So Disney have kind of come up with a deal with Netflix to kind of get some access back to this. So what's going to be happening is when Hulu on Disney Plus officially launches in March, because at the minute we're in the beta mode. If you've tried to find Grey's Anatomy on Disney Plus in the US, you're not going to find it. As I said, it's on Netflix. So when it launches officially in March, it's going to have access to all previous 19 seasons of Grey's Anatomy, plus it'll have the new episodes that will be dropping as well. So Netflix and Disney have agreed to share the show, which is big news because this is a massive get for Disney. This is one of their core shows. It is one of their tempo titles. It is essentially in the sort of the general entertainment zone of Disney. Grey's Anatomy is kind of the Marvel Star Wars stuff. This stuff gets bigger viewing numbers than Marvel or Star Wars. It is huge. So Disney getting back rights to this, whether or not, maybe there was a kind of a word of going, look, if we maybe cancel the show, we'll get them all back anyway. And Netflix like, well, we're keen to kind of keep one in this show anyway. But there obviously is a deal. And therefore part of the deal was that Netflix are getting sort of limited shared access to 14 different shows from Disney's archive, which is very interesting. Now, those shows include the new version of The Wonder Years, This Is Us, My Wife and Kids, 25 episodes of ESPN's 30 for 30. You're also getting The Resident, White Collar, Reba. You're also getting Archer, How I Met Your Mother, Lost, Prison Break, The Huleys, The Bernie Mac Show, and Home Improvement. And they're going to be releasing from the beginning of 2024 right through until 2025. And there for 18 months, they'll be shared across Disney Plus and Hulu and also Netflix. Also, this deal includes The Huleys, which has become the first time that this show is available on streaming. And they're going to be out on both Hulu and Netflix on the same day. So this is a very interesting thing, and you can look at this in a couple of different ways. Now, whether or not any money has been sort of exchanged hands, I don't know, because recently we had the quarterly financial results, and Bob Iger said that he was talking with Netflix about a deal and stuff. So I'm wondering if it was this one. Now, whether or not this is just a straight up trade. Now, some people obviously look at it and go, well, one show is not worth 14 shows. This seems very kind of, good for Netflix, but bad for Disney. But they are getting the #1 show back. They're getting the big boy, the one that is pulling people in. The only way I was saying this with Casey from What's on Netflix last night, because obviously we're looking at it from two different sides. Now, I looked at this as like, he's got 14 Pokemon cards, but I've got one shiny Pikachu. And that's the one that I wanted. So there's that kind of thing of like, yeah, you've traded lots of smaller shows to get the big boy. And also the viewing numbers, I think probably for Grey's Anatomy, are probably all of the rest combined. So there's kind of a scale there. And a lot of these shows that are older, they're not massive new hits. Are they really going to make a massive difference to Hulu and Disney Plus if they're not exclusive for 18 months? Not really. A lot of these shows have been licensed out to other streaming platforms and other linear channels. Like here in the UK, some of those shows are like on Channel 4. This is becoming quite normal for Disney to be looking at their archive of content from FX, ABC and 20th Century and licensing some of this stuff out, to get some extra cash. And that's kind of, looking at this, not important to them in the same way that like Marvel and Star Wars is. And it's a very weird way. Like I said, some people look at it and go, oh, Disney just want, they just want money. It's like, I don't even know if any money, they wanted Grey's Anatomy back and they've got it back and that's what they want. And it is a massive get for Hulu on Disney Plus and Hulu to get access to those shows. It will really help kind of strengthen that as one of the core brands. And Netflix continues to have the show and they get to share it. The access to those other shows, some of them, are big ones, like Lost and How I Met Your Mother. Those are going to be big ones that will get people in and they will help. But it'll also help boost up those shows in general. We get a lot of viewing numbers. There's apparently a Prison Break renewal in the works. So if it's on there, that'll help boost up that anyway. So there are advantages either way. You can definitely look at it from either side of, like, if you're on Netflix side, you're going, oh, Disney have given up and I have to look at it and go, had Netflix not had Grey's Anatomy, I don't think that deal would have been done. There's a trade here. They both got something that they wanted. And that's good for them. I think it's good for us as consumers. If you're a Netflix subscriber, you're going to have access to all those shows for a limited time. And if you're on Hulu on Disney Plus or Hulu, you're going to get access to Grey's Anatomy and stuff. I know the power of it. My mum earlier this year started watching Grey's Anatomy and she binged through all 19 seasons on Disney Plus and now is kind of like waiting for the new ones. I've been watching Grey's Anatomy since it first came out. I can't believe it's that long, but it does tie in with the release of the new 20th season, which comes out in March. It's going to be 10 episodes for this new season because it's shorter because of the actors and writers strike. So yeah, I think this is a win-win for everyone. I don't see this as a loss for Disney. They got what they wanted. They got access to Grey's Anatomy, which is the #1 show. This is a huge one. They did similar deals before Disney Plus launched to get access to Star Wars and Marvel content. Now they obviously know that they want that as one of their core titles, and it makes sense. I mean, they can see the numbers for what they do on Disney Plus around the world, and now they're kind of bringing it all together. It's a big show, big win for both platforms, I think. That's the way I look at it. Netflix may have got a better deal. They might have got, like a little bit more leverage to kind of go, well, we don't have to give it back to you. But at least they managed to keep hold of access to it. So yeah, I think this is, again, it's just a win-win-win, but it shows the kind of changes and stuff. But had Netflix not had the rights to Grey's Anatomy, I don't think this deal would have gone down the same way. They are licensing stuff out to Netflix here and there, but with this combined Hulu and Disney Plus, they are kind of, sometimes they've got to do, you've got to make deals and stuff to get stuff. And Grey's Anatomy is the #1 show that Disney wants on Hulu on Disney Plus. But let us know your thoughts on this. Crazy that this is happening. But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on all this in the comments below. Go check us out over at whatsonatdisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe, and I shall see you guys soon. Later.